No, unfortunately for many people, I am not dead. So, where have I been? Well, we'll go in the order of what's on the title. First, obligations. I recently started a new job, so that's been taking up a fair amount of my time during the day. And during half the nights of the week, I'm doing classes, though those are almost done, so I'll spend a bit more time doing recording from then on out. At least I might, but we'll get to that in a minute. The main thing I want to cover, and that led me to making this video, well, the two, is commitments in YouTube. I have been kind of wrestling with myself over the past few days. I have exactly zero motivation at all to finish the FNAF series. But, as I've said multiple times throughout the series, I initially planned to do all of the FNAF games in one big sprint, more or less. But I don't think the videos are particularly compelling. For a number of reasons. From my lack of editing, or general low energy levels during recordings, and really just in general. Or whether it's the games themselves not giving me much to riff off of and make entertainment from, with especially the one I've been trying to for a few hours before recording this in Pizzeria Simulator. The minigame segments can offer some value, the night segments not so much, but at the point that I was at, it was basically going to be, if I could even manage, some minigame highlights where I maybe crack a joke, and then a deaths montage broken up by the end of night cheer, then another minigames highlights with a couple of jokes, and repeat. Which would be a lot of editing for me to do, something I'm, as you might be able to tell by the videos if you've seen them, not good at. I'm trying to learn, but there are other things I'm also trying to learn right now, both in terms of my job and here on YouTube. It's no secret, as you may have seen, my model is basically trash. It is not good. The design isn't the worst I have ever seen, but it's not particularly compelling. The rig is stiff, the tracking bad. I need to replace it. And that's something I've been trying to learn, trying to do. Start from scratch, more or less, and build out a model that I can be proud of. Which, as you might have guessed, is harder said than done. From there, I don't know. Next, the biggest section, and the biggest demotivating factor, YouTube itself. I'll be blunt. I do crunch numbers. I've taken multiple statistics classes in my life, and I know that on average, my video performance tends to be about 600 impressions per view. And when I look at my worst performing videos, ones with single-digit views, low single-digit views, most of them are still, at this point in recording, looking at my other monitor, single digits. But especially ones with 0 views or 2 views, they'll have single-digit or low double-digit impressions. I'm talking 39 total people may have seen the thumbnail for my FNAF Sister Location Part 3. Like, grand total, 36 people might have seen it, and I don't know how many of those were me, because I know I've seen it at least 3 times. So, we can say it's probably 30 impressions and not 36, which means that I would have gotten about a 1% chance of getting a view off of that. Oh, no. No, that's not accurate. It's about 2%, which is a lot better than 1. It's double, but it's still not good gambling odds. Then some of my, less serious, a little easier to make videos where I just kind of read something and the whole funny is me speaking and being dramatic, and it's got 9 impressions, or a roughly 1.5% chance that anyone would have seen it. It's currently sitting at 0 views. Nobody's ever watched it. I'm certainly not going to do that for myself. It's kind of cheating, and it doesn't count for anything. But yeah, I feel like I'm not being given chances to succeed, which I'm owed no chance to succeed, I suppose. But I don't want to devolve into doing clickbait or slop content, at least not beyond reading out a meme and making a joke or something like that. But yeah, it's if there was traction and I felt like I was maybe getting somewhere over the course of about a year at this point of uploading, which is crazy to say. I know my consistency hasn't always been the greatest, but yeah, about a year of uploads and what was it, 14 subscribers? 13 or 14? I've seen more for channels with no videos, which I can't say I fully understand, but I've certainly seen it. It's certainly led to burnout, I won't lie. But kind of leads to the last topic, and that's where to go from here. I enjoy doing VR games. I don't know how to make anything compelling out of them in terms of videos. VR games are, I won't say niche anymore, but they aren't exactly the kind of thing where you can sit down and have a big story. So I'm going to try what I can to make that worth watching. That's unless it continues to perform as poorly as the others, in which case the effort required to do VR videos is higher. You gotta fine-tune stabilization, and I have to restrict my movements, and I'd have to figure out how to properly set up some sort of full-body tracking to get a model in, at the very least. So I genuinely don't know where to go from here right now. But at least as it stands, I'm going to give everything my best shot. I'm not quitting yet, but unfortunately I can't promise it's not in the cards. I can only devote myself so much to a project that won't succeed. So, yeah, that's what's been going on. I probably have some H3 VR in the background running. I think I'll probably stick with that, yeah. I know I had it in the last one where I talked about games dying. I had some H3 VR, I think it was Take and Hold gameplay in the background. So I'll do that. Again, maybe I'll do something, maybe a deep dive of some sort into a game or something that I like, as a trying my hand at something more scripted. Think Pancreas No Work, who, if you like Halo or Warhammer, he's worth checking out. Even if he does have a weird thing for elves, can't say I've ever. Okay, no, there are some elves that are worth investing some time into. Others, not so much. But yeah, I don't know at this point. It's demoralizing to not be given the ability to succeed, especially when the only measure of success is a number going up or not, and seeing that numbers don't go up isn't exactly reassuring. But what can you do? Regardless, I will, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Maybe. It'll... I don't even know what it'll be at this point. Something. Alright, weirdos. Ciao.